I'm such a good magician that I turn myself into a comedian. So whether I'm going to be funny or not, who knows? But I had a lot of trouble getting in here tonight, guys. Anyone have trouble getting in here tonight with the outside of the street? There were some people nicking stuff from the cars, and I didn't want to get too involved, so I just took a back seat. You know? But yeah, I looked up what Hounslow is all about, what Hounslow means. Hounslow, the word means, it's an old Saxon word meaning dog cemetery. You know? And I've just had this thing about maybe they were burying the dogs here in Hounslow and then jumping on the tube to Barking. You know? But then Hounslow's famous for a couple of things I found. One thing, gunpowder. Was the centre of gunpowder manufacturing for 100 years. No change there then. And not only that, it was the centre of the highway robbery, you know, Dick Turpin and all that, mugging people. No change there either, is there? Well, as you can see, that guys, I'm a nurse. I've got an ID to prove it. Yeah. But not only that, just to let you know, I'm also a male nurse. Yeah? Just to let in case you didn't know. But what I'd like to do tonight is give you a feel of what it's like to be a nurse in A&E. Okay? But before I do that, guys, a bit of advice. Try and heed this advice about A&E or hospital. You don't ever go to hospital with a short illness. Yeah? You hear it on the news and the obituaries. She died after a short illness. He passed away after a short illness. Don't go to hospital with a short illness, guys. Stretch it out a bit, a nice medium to long-term illness, and you'll be fine. What does A&E stand for? Anywhere and everywhere. That's what it means. And as a nurse, I'm supposed to be looking after you guys if you collapse or something like that. I'm supposed to be, you know. But I'm even in like outside in the street, in restaurants, in clubs, all these sort of places, you know, brothels, libraries, you know, anywhere that people might collapse, I'm supposed to be there and help you out. But I was on a day, it said 3 nights trip, it said. It was actually 2 days, that's what it is, isn't it, by the time you get there and go home. 2 days trip. I was on a flight to Benidorm. And it comes over on the tannoy. It says, if there's a nurse or a doctor on board, would you mind coming to the cabin? You know, and so I'm tucking into my booze and my food. I'm thinking, stop that, you know, I've got too much going on here. And then they tannoyed again. I thought, I'll go up there and have a look. So I went up to the cabin, and this guy was laying on the floor. I thought, he does look a bit rough actually. So I thought, you know, and the steward says to me, do you think we should redirect the flight? I said to him, I'm thinking, blimey, I've only got 2 days in Benidorm, I could end up in the bloody Pyrenees there. I'm thinking, no way, tell that captain to forge ahead, put a foot on the gas, I'll keep this guy talking and give him a few slaps, he'll be fine. But of course, the thing about working in A&E, what does it stand for? Anything and everything. You know, you get your mothers coming in with their newborn babies, and they say, is there somewhere I can feed my baby? And you say to them, well, yeah, there's a face and there's a mouth in the middle. That's where you feed your baby. Have you got somewhere I can change my baby? Look, love, we don't change babies. You're stuck with that one. Get on with it, yeah? Last week, a guy came in. He says to me, Johnny, can you prescribe me a Blue Peter? I said, what's a Blue Peter? He said, that's Cockney rhyming slang for Viagra. So I said, well, no, first of all, mate, we don't give out Viagra as an emergency drug. And secondly, Peter and Viagra don't rhyme. How can it be Cockney rhyming slang? You know, Viagra, Peter, Viagra. And for me, that was a bit of a hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean? But of course, you know, then this guy's come in. A guy's been in Hounslow actually and been hit over the head with a baseball bat. His eyes were pointing in the opposite directions. And I thought, blimey, he looks a bit rough. So I said to him, how many fingers am I holding up? And he said, Thursday. So I passed him across, I said, well, you need a lobotomy, mate. So I sent him for a lobotomy, which on reflection was a real no-brainer. Thank you. But, the thing is, though, I mean, we love organs in, not that kind of organ, your organ, Wayne. We're talking about organ donors, We love a good organ donor, nice fresh organs in hospital. If you want to come in and give your organs, please do. I've seen a few organ donors out in the street tonight. They're normally known as cyclists. But also those guys, those ones that give their whole body to medical science, they're known as electric scooter riders. Yeah. That's it. They keep all their organs except the brain. Electric scooter riders, chuck the brain, useless. So, I've always wanted to be a nurse, I always wanted to be a nurse, but I couldn't get into some form of healthcare, So, I've tried being a gym instructor for a bit, but the only machine I could operate in the gym was the one that dispensed crisps and Mars bars, so that didn't work out too good. And the other thing I tried was yoga instructor. And I thought I'd like yoga instructor, because it was flexible working, But, the thing about, I went for an interview as a yoga instructor, and they weren't very nice actually. They turned me down. In the interview, they turned me down for the job of yoga instructor, despite the fact that I had bent over backwards for it. But what we started is a new vaccine in this area. If anyone is interested in getting vaccinated, it's called we call it the Punjab. But I wish you all a very good night. Thanks very much.